Alright, so I thought I would make a video about analyzing my gameplays in Parkour right here. I might do one in battle as well, but right now I'm just gonna do one in my latest Parkour video. Because there's a lot of things that you might not realize about this gameplay, especially if you don't pay much attention to Parkour. Because I see it a lot. When I play Parkour, I see a lot of these people that you see that I overtake doing the videos. Wait, where is it? Like a lot of people, I just surpass them, and like this person right here. As you can see, they're doing really bad. Like they started way. Okay, I did bad there too, but see, they're just not as fast. They started way before me as well, as you can see right here. They're already far ahead here, but this is not the worst case. They're playing at least somewhat good. But I see a lot of people when I'm playing Parkour who's just like taking a really long road. Without further ado, let's analyze this video and this gameplay. So as you can see right here in the beginning, you would see this a lot. I don't go straight to the end right over here. I go in a diagonal line in order to make it to this wall, because I don't need to reach this very end wall. I just need to reach into that hole over there. However, I can't go straight that path obviously because of the poison lava right here, so we'll have to stay on this track and do a double jump in there. A lot of parkour is about knowing how far you can get with a jump and how far you can get with a double jump. It's just muscle memory. Again, I'm going a diagonal path, surpassing this person. Don't know what they're doing. And of course, this is not my first time playing this. Obviously, when I play these parkours, I played them over and over and over, and I raged a lot in many of them. Broken some keyboards, and you can also see my record right here is 24. Sometimes I go for just full on the fastest road, or a faster record that would end up maybe being 10 seconds faster than my past record. Because if it's 5 seconds faster than my record, my current record, it's just not fast enough sometimes, especially because many times the record right here would be a time where I have looked through the parkour and not just went for the fastest time possible. So therefore, a lot of the times I beat it by quite a lot. I think this one right here, I actually restarted a lot of times when I fucked this up because it's such a time loss. So I don't want to land on this one and then jump up here, because I would need to either go over here and then jump over there, or jump almost to here and then jump straight upwards without moving forward, and that just doesn't really go that much fast. So I'd have to save a lot of time and just jump straight into the hole from the second last platform, as you can see right happened here. This happens sometimes when you jump and you don't make the jump fully, but you land right next to it, so it will adjust itself and move you upwards. It's the same thing that happens when you're moving upstairs. Instead of jumping every single time, you just walk up the stairs. Right here, I could have saved some more time if I went along this wall, because if you think about it, all the time that I use on moving on this side is useless, because I can just move along the wall right here, which would be faster. World record. This video I had for a very long time. I also used it in my video called BlockStarPlanet, because this parkour, oh my fucking god. There happened a weird glitch where I just kept dying whenever I jumped. like as if everything was poison lava. And I do believe I also raged a lot here, and therefore you would notice I'm not I don't really care that much about getting a really fast time right here. A lot of it is just me being like, let's just get over with it. So therefore I spent some time here, standing still maybe, being flat right there. If it was an easy parkour, I would definitely not accept that. I would definitely try over again and try to see if I can avoid being flattened out, because when you flatten out, you don't go move fast. That should be obvious. And right here, because I've tried this parkour so many times, I just take the checkpoints just to make sure. And then I die. That that was obviously on purpose. That was a skill-based move, obviously. Of course, totally. No cap. Anyway, as you can see, in these jump droppers, I usually always make a last jump at the end to avoid being flattened. Unless I make it right into a teleporter or into the goal, because in that case, if I jump, that would waste more time. I've died so many times here, I believe, from the last poison lava, because this goal is just boxed in inside of so much poison lava. Oh yeah, this one also, fucking hell. I think it's also in my BlockStarPlanet video, because oh my god, I fucking got so annoyed. Many times I would land on the first one, even though I landed on the second one, and then when I land on the second one, it won't teleport me, and I would just get yeeted into the lava. And because of the speed boost, apparently it doesn't exactly count. Something is going on where it just says, where it doesn't allow you to teleport because you're moving with the speed boost, I believe. And because you just landed, it takes some time before it would start colliding with the teleporter. So a lot of times I fucked up here. And then when I don't fuck up, I then get teleported into this one, which I want to, but then I would move backwards into a poison lava wall, which is right behind me right here. It's this one right here. And then I would die. Because when I'm jumping over here, in order to make it straight to this teleporter, I move forward and I move backwards. So right there at the end, I move backwards in order to not overshoot the teleporter. Right here, I don't know what the fuck the point was on this whole path, but parkour is all about taking the shortest path possible, so I'm using the jumper here to jump onto this thing and then move over to this thing, because this was awfully designed. It was also made by Index Fury, so it's what can be expected. So I just land on this teleporter right here that teleports me over there. This one was really difficult to master. I need to get shot over here. Most of the times I would overshoot it, and then I'll walk on this one, and then I need to use this fan right here to fly and land exactly on this one, and then manage to jump to this goal. Again, the diagonal path. Here I did fuck up my jump. I think I could land on this one, but I just fucked something up. And of course here I've memorized most of the path right here, so I know exactly where to go. First time I'm playing it, yeah, I'm just like confused about that and use a lot of time trying to figure out where to go. And this hole right here that I'm walking through is also a thing I noticed on these older times that I played this, and I realized this little hole right here. So the more times I played it, or the slower, like my first time playing these parkours, I look through these things and see if there's any, I don't know if it's a mistake or if it's on purpose, but trying to see if there's any holes in the walls. And right here there's another hole in the wall that I can gently just use to my advantage to get to this one as fast as possible. I didn't manage to get that jump. I don't know why I even tried there, because now I fucked up. Now I'm in a situation where I spent time trying to get to that thing, even though I do have plenty of health, and usually I risk my health a lot in order to get some path that is faster but will damage me. And this is what I mentioned earlier. My record went from, like, almost went down with a whole minute. Here I go quick in and out. And I of course know exactly where the key is. And also right here, I know exactly where it is because I played it over and over and died. I'm also using some of the decorations sometimes in order to climb the parkour faster instead of going all the way to this one right here. I can just jump on this one and then jump up here, which saves some time. And here, this is a trick many of the people who play parkour are probably familiar with. If you spam jump as you're climbing a ladder, you move faster up the ladder because you're jumping and you get that jump, and at the same time you're landing, so you get your jumps back, so you can just spam jump. But be aware, don't overshoot it. Sometimes you might overshoot it, so I think I usually stop before I overshoot it, because if you overshoot it, sometimes it's not good. Like sometimes I would, because that would make you jump, and if you jump at a point where you're not meant to jump, then you will have to land first and then jump again, unless you can make it in a one double jump. Now I don't spend much time taking the health because I don't need it. It's a waste of time and it heals so slowly, so it's most of the time it's not worth it. And I skip. I don't need this checkpoint. I don't need it. I just need to go through here. Many of these parkours I don't use checkpoints at all. Because usually, again, just like the healing thing, it will take a longer time to go to the checkpoint than it will to just go for the fastest path. Here I did fuck up. I thought I could make it to this one, but halfway there you can see I tried to aim for this one, but halfway there I realized I can't reach that, so I jump over here and then jump on this one. Taking a bit of damage, but it's alright. So it's not that much that damaged me through this parkour. Here I fuck up again. This was also recorded a year ago, so I'm blaming it on that. But of course, in all my parkour videos, I do fuck up and mess up. You can always be faster. So here I jump into this thing instead of onto it. So I jump because I'm underneath it. So I did a double jump on it. That wasted a little bit of time. Here I don't go all the way to the corners because I don't need to land on every single platform. If I can just make a jump from one platform to the other, that is all that matters. And here I have my second double jump left. Or, well, my first double jump. It's my backflip jump thing. front flip jump thing. So I use that in order to not get flattened out. I actually stopped up here, which wasted a little bit of time. But that was to make sure. That I did grab it, because as you can see right here, I land on the platform and then it pushes me a little bit up, and sometimes I do that, so I make sure I'm landed so that when I do my first jump, it's not gonna be a front flip, because if it was a front flip, I wouldn't make it all the way up here. You can see that happens also here. As you can see, is when you land on the corner of the platform, it will push you a little upwards, so if you do a jump, it will sometimes do the double jump. And then land on the booster here to get extra speed. This one, there was a lot of people playing this, and a lot of people were really bad at it, and so were I in the beginning. Like, it was so difficult. So all of this, basically, if you touch anything else than the platforms are landing on, you die. You just die immediately because every second block is poison lava, and the collider on your character can't land on one block, like, only. He will take damage from the block surrounding that block. Even if I land perfect on this square right here, I'll die immediately from the poison lava because the poison lava is touching me too. It is the collision about the blocks that taking damage. Even though you can go underneath a one by one hole, right there I actually did take damage, which is just what I said you couldn't do, but it's because I didn't land on the block. I didn't land on the block. I landed on the thing right here, as I mentioned earlier, where it then corrects me and pushes me up like staircase. However, the collision of the blocks are bigger, so the the block right behind it, underneath it, damaged me, but not the poison lava block because it's the collision of the blocks and not your character. Now right here you're getting shot through a cannon, and here it's pretty difficult to at least it can be a little difficult in these booster things to make sure that you get enough speed, but also avoid getting overshot. So what I'm doing here is I'm turning around so I can move a little backwards, as you can see right here. I wouldn't make it, but then I make another jump and then move over to it because I can easily make that jump. Here I know exactly where the ladder is, so I just jump towards it and do the ladder strategy that I did earlier, where you jump on the ladder to move faster upwards. And here I don't care about getting flattened because I am in the goal. I won. Don't care about future problems. As long as you make it to the goal, then everything else doesn't matter. I mean, unless you're cheating, of course. Here I take some damage because that is sometimes just a strategy to take some damage in order to get the fastest path. I fuck up here, as you saw earlier. I didn't. I thought it would correct itself to make me up there, but it didn't for some reason. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh yeah, also these ladder jumps, these jumps right here, they're really annoying because you can't make them in one jump, so you would have to make two jumps on it, whereas other ladders, or whatever to call these kinds of jumps, they're made like right underneath each other, so you can easily skip two steps if you just do a double jump. And here I just skip to this one because I don't need to get further up. I don't know why I didn't jump here. I assume I might have thought that it was some kind of block that you can jump on, but it's not. A perfect example of me playing through these multiple times and know the route in my head is right here, where I jump up the ladder and just immediately do a 180. And well, I overshot the 180, but I know exactly where to go, and that was really fast and quick. Also here, I know that I have to go over here and not straight because I don't want to land on. I don't want to land on the one down here. I want to land on the middle one because from that I can just jump to this one. Again, here I'm going more or less forward, or maybe turned a little to the right. That is just to make it perfectly diagonal as well, because these things I'm landing on are pushing me, so I don't need to move myself. So therefore the fastest route to here is just moving forward, since the transport blocks will make sure that I end up over here anyway. From here on I might play a little more secure, just to make sure that I don't die. Because at this point I played this parkour for 1 minute and a half, so it would be really annoying to die right there. And I used the low gravity to also get far up there. Right, as you can see, as you saw right there, I tried to go for this one, but I noticed that's too far, so I quickly went to plan B. It is really important to know when you're overestimating your jumps. So you can quickly realize that and and go to another um, platform instead. And of course, right after I realized I overestimated the first jump, I didn't go for this one here, and I probably could have, but I didn't because I was worried that I would overestimate my jump ability again. Right here I skip through this checkpoint because I don't need to land at the checkpoint. And here I do some risky jump, just falling off of the tar blocks. And you can see right here, I'm really close to dying. You saw right before that I took damage from not touching the block, but almost touching the block. So these jumps are really risky, but it requires you to fall off the block in order to jump and then land on the further part. That is faster instead of going around. It's faster to go straight to it instead of around it. Now I don't do this again because the jump here is not as much of a time saver, and the first one was already very risky, so I just keep it. Also because it's been 3 minutes, and 3 minutes is really annoying to do over again, especially since you can't make sure that you would do all these things again the same way. So this wasn't as much of a difficult parkour as it was of a long parkour. But a lot of people quit from long parkours, just like with difficult parkours, because it's annoying dying right at the end. Right here, you just gotta walk to the other end of the huge world. So right there, 4 minutes. 4 minutes with jumping and all of that. As you probably could have expected, since it's such a long parkour, the world record would be 1 second because the bad, they don't want to play this parkour, they just want to be a little loser and cheat the way to victory. I did get daily record, so I can't remember what the record was before me, but might have been up in the 5 minutes. This parkour I actually played a lot. I played it daily, so I know exactly where the keys are. It might look really autistic how I just know the position, but it's basically just placed so it's in first in right side, then in left side, then in right side. That is a thing people do, like they try to be random, but they're really predictable, so it's not that random after all. Here, do the jump strat. As you can see, I just surpassed that person so fast. Oh yeah, another thing I did here was when I fall down, I then do another jump and then jump onto the ladder. That is really time saver because you don't want to be flattened out. It was a little difficult with this one because there was a wall between the ladders, but you can do just one jump and then land, like do a perfect jump that just hits the top of that doorway and then land on the ladder. Here again, also I don't know how, but I just remember where the holes are. And here I jump over the first tar because I don't want to fucking deal with that, because this thing can take very long time. Maybe not as long with this thing because it's 4 blocks, but usually it's 1 block and I hate that. It takes a lot of time and a lot of RNG, but I just don't want to deal with that. And also these things right here, it's only lava. I don't think the person who made this parkour has poison lava. So I can just walk over it and take a bit of damage. It's basically like getting a ticket from the police. You're just like, yeah, I won't do it again. Jump up here and then do a jump right here. As you can see right here, I actually do my second jump already right like this low, which is quite low for a double jump. That is because I'd used my first jump on the ladders. So that was what I mentioned earlier. Anyway, I do a double jump and land on another lava here. I know I said I won't do it again, officer, but I do it anyway. Now, I don't take that much damage. Well, I did anyway. But that is also RNG. It's based on your connection. Really annoying. Sometimes you could get through this without taking any damage. It's just about your connection. So yeah, anyway, I jump on that block in order to skip through all of these so I don't have to walk between these lava blocks, because the collider of the lava block is pretty big, so you would take damage from that anyway. That was a bad jump. I could have jumped. I could have measured my jumps better and actually land up here instead of down here. That was also bad measured. Alright, this next parkour actually took me so damn long. And I know it might sound like a joke, but it actually took me a long time. Because I was trying all these strategies about, oh, how do I go fast here? Through the teleporter, it looks like this. I need to turn 180 degrees immediately as I'm going through the teleporter, and then walk that way. However, at some point, after respawning over and over and over again, I realized something. I spawn on this poison lava, and this parkour is pretty difficult. There's no way the owner can complete any of this because they're losers. So what I suspected was there's probably a secret path. And I think this might be my first try. This one also took me some time, because with these things, the thing I mentioned earlier about the RNG, about if you would take damage here or if you won't, this is that. This is literally that, but like 5 times in a row. You just gotta roll the dice and hope that you get the right amount 6 times in a row, which is a little difficult and really annoying. I spent a lot of time doing this one, because most of the times what will happen is you land on this one, and then you will, if you don't land perfectly on this one, you know, the thing I said about the staircase and stuff, if you land under it and it will adjust itself to land on it, then it does a little push thing, so it pushes you up into this one, which is the reason probably why these are here. So if you land on the edge and it pushes you up here, it adjusts your block star to land on this one. It will then kill you because it pushes you. That's also why some of these jumps take a little long time to do. So it's not really that fast. I'm like, whew, gotta take a small little break and then do another one. I did cut out a few frames. I think I cut out a few frames. Also for the music to be in sync. Now the last one was probably the easiest one, but I had to take a second to just be like, did I survive, or is it gonna kill me in about half a second? Because it does that. This one was also really difficult. I think Moonlight invited me to it, or someone else, a friend of mine. This right here, again, that would kill me. A lot of the times it would kill me. That is like the jumps that I just did. This would sometimes just have a chance of killing me instantly. And then here is these Neo jumps where you that I also did earlier. I usually always skip a handful of these jumps because you don't need to jump into each one of them. Let's just land in the middle one and then skip to the end. And here I almost died, but remember, it's adjusting my block star to land on this one. I did die here a few times before this run. As you also saw, the world record or the daily record was 3 seconds because people like to use cheat engine, and the world record was 1 second because, you know, kids, they don't know how to play games and they want to be good, but they don't want to do what it takes to be good. They just want to be seen as good. Right, this one I remember. I found this path where usually it's made so that you go for the lowest one, which is the easiest one, but the longest one. And then you get the blue key, and then you go back, and then you get the second level, and it's a little harder, and it's a little shorter as well, and then you get the second key, and so on and so forth. However, since the lowest one is the longest, you can just take the short one at the top and just fall down to take the ones underneath. That is how gravity works, and that is pretty bad design of the creator of this parkour. And again, as I mentioned earlier, you can take 2 jumps on these ladder jumps. You can take a double jump and then skip one. However, right here at the green level, I hit into the platform right here. So I should have done it from the side. Some of these I might not have needed a double jump to do, but I still do it to make sure, because if I do a single jump, the risk of dying is way higher, but my record would be faster, so I would get daily record. But if I do a double jump, I would most likely succeed and not die, and I would still get the daily record. So I thought, well, I get the record anyway, so I'm just gonna do a double jump. And as you can see, I got the daily record. And I also destroyed my own record, which probably was the daily record. Destroyed my own record with 10 seconds. And here again I go diagonal. And here are these jumps that I say I hate so much, because you need to land on these things and before you can jump, and then you need to do another one, and these can take so long in itself. So I just skip through them, I don't care. It's way faster. The risk of dying from that is not very high because the jump is right next to it. With the other one on the tar, the risk of dying was really high because I would have to do a double jump to reach it. But here I can just spam jump and do a single jump. If I just spam jump, I will make sure to at least make a single jump, and I don't need to time it that much. I got the Doritos, I skipped the last Dorito. Right here, I did double jump for most of them, but then I made sure to land on this one, the second last one. I made sure to land on the second last one, because even though I landed on the third last one, but I need to land on the second last one in order for me to just jump from the second last one to this one, instead of landing all the way on this one and then into here, because that would be slower if I went all the way over here and then there. That was close. And there you go. 5 seconds faster than my earlier world record. This parkour, I believe it's made by Michelox. So it was pretty cool to have a world record in that, or daily record. This is another parkour I played daily. I didn't have the world record, I believe, because the world record was no seconds, and that's not possible unless I start downloading Cheat Engine, but I don't want to have my hands on that. So I've done it quite a lot of times. I played this parkour quite a lot of times. It starts out with you looking the wrong way because, I don't know, Michelox don't know how to turn things. I hate it when people do this, when they don't turn the teleporter or the checkpoint or the start, because it makes you look the wrong direction, which is not intended. It's bad design. My first strategy in this one was actually to land on this one. Did a little tunnel right here. If you land, because you can land perfectly in a corner and not die from this one, but it does require quite a lot, and it might be more entertaining to watch if I did that. However, I found out you can just land on the last jumper and then do a double jump to this one, which is way faster. And then I also skip some other platforms. Land on the top to avoid getting slowed down. Now, I'm really bad at these, where I have to do jumps and not overshoot and not undershoot it. This jump is no longer possible in the newer version, in the recreation in Unity, because your jumps just can't reach that far. You can't do this. I've tried multiple times. As you can see right here, it's not a problem. It is absolutely not a problem to do. It is so simple. However, in the Unity version, I can't even do it once. It's not just me being old, it's literally impossible to do that far of a jump in the new version. Here I also use the jumper to jump up and skip a few steps. I could have used a double jump there. I've done that in other runs in this parkour, but I didn't do that here. I just made sure to finish it. This one always fucks me over because these jumps, they're just so inconsistent and difficult. As you can see, I always do double jumps. I keep making double jumps to make sure I don't make sure that I'm landing on the next platform. And then I skip the rest because I can just fall here and then do a double jump. These platforms are not that difficult. However, I have died a few times to this one, I think. My ass is too wide. I'm dying. As you can see, it wasn't even my personal best record. My personal best was 1 minute and 1 second, and I probably completed it faster. And I actually wanted to record a new speedrun on this one, since this one is old and outdated, and I have a sub 1 minute in this parkour now. But as I said, I couldn't record it because the new version made in Unity cannot do the same shortcuts. So no matter what, you can't complete it as fast as you could before. Oh, and these last two parkours are fan made. They're named after me. I know I think the last one though was they changed the name, which was a little pathetic. People they say, "Oh, this one is only for you, Jacob," and it has nothing to do with me. And then they just changed the name. This one is only for you, Camlux. Oh, this one is only for you, Mika Lux. And it's just like, it's not for any of them. You just want attention from them. So you dress it as fan made. There was a third one as well that I got pretty far in, but then the new update came out and like Unity. So yeah, I got far in it. I know it was called something like Jacob Loser something. Jacob Kurva fucking loser. It was called something mean about me, about like talking shit about how I could not complete it ever because it was just too hard or whatever. But I got pretty far in it, and I definitely looked forward on completing it, and I was getting very, very far in it. But yeah, it was basically just a bunch of different kinds of jumps over poison lava like this. I make sure I don't land on this one because this one makes my movement opposite. And no matter if I try to time it perfectly, it would never be totally perfect for me to click S right as it starts instead of W. So either way, it would push me backwards, or I would stop up for like a millisecond. So I just skipped past that one. This one was really, really difficult. At first, I thought it was impossible. Landed here because this jump right here with this ladder, it was really creative. I've never seen that before. But it was made so that you can't double jump on this one. Also, this one is no longer possible in Unity because you need to reach as far as possible as you can in the jump, which the limit has been dragged down in the new Unity version. But yeah, it required you to not only do the fulliest double jump you can, but also get that extra little jump you get from ladders when you move up them. So that's what I'm doing here. I can maybe show it in slow motion, as you can see right here. And then moving a little bit up and then doing my first jump and then doing my second jump to reach the top of this thing. And then from there it's just going downhill from there. Like, not much, just simple. I don't know if they meant to make anything here, but it was not that difficult to jump on these. And then I got world record, and it was called for Jacob 767. So I think that's probably pretty cool for them. That to see that I got the world record in their parkour. So I hope nobody's gonna use cheat engine or whatever and just get a record of 0.01 seconds. That would be quite mean. especially since it wasn't made for them. Right, last parkour was also named after me, but I don't think it was, I think it was just for the attention. I think I played it a lot of times, which is why I am doing it quite slow right here, because I died so many times and it's so annoying to die when you're so far. But yeah, I ended up finishing it 15.4 seconds. And then my outro right here. I used a lot of time making that in Blender, or maybe not as much time as usual, but it was pretty cool. The skull is obviously, I didn't make that myself. The skull is made by somebody. I just took the skull asset from the internet, and the same with the textures, like the ground and the wall in the background. However, what I did do was I changed the material inside of the eyes, the eye holes, to be a red emission, and then I also changed the material of that one tooth right there to be gold, and then I also used an HDRI so that the gold would also have a reflection that wasn't just flat looking. Yeah, I think it turned out really great.